Level 1. The beginner. You discover trading the same way most people do. A video, a post, someone showing profits on a screen. It looks simple. Charts moving up and down. Green candles, red candles, buy, sell. Money appearing in seconds. They call it trading. Stocks, crypto, forex, different markets. Same promise. Financial freedom. So you open your first trading app. Create an account. Deposit a small amount of money. Nothing crazy. Just enough to try. The platform shows endless charts. Numbers moving every second. Prices rising, prices falling. You don't really understand what you're looking at, but it feels exciting, like a game. You watch videos explaining strategies, support, resistance, indicators, words that sound complicated, but the message always feels the same. Buy when it goes up, sell before it goes down. It seems easy. So you place your first trade. Your heart starts beating faster. The price moves immediately. Up, down, up again. Your balance changes every second. For the first time, you feel the power of the market. You close the trade quickly, a small profit. Not much, but enough to feel real. Enough to make you curious. Because in that moment, you believe something important. That trading is simple. That anyone can do it. That money is just waiting on the other side of the screen. But every trader remembers this moment. The first trade. The first profit. Because that's the moment the market pulls you in. And once you start trading, it becomes very hard to stop. Level 2. The gambler. The first profit changes something. It's small, maybe a few dollars, but it feels important. Because now you believe it's real. You believe the market can pay you, so you start trading more often. Not because you understand the charts, because you want that feeling again. The quick profit, the excitement, the rush when the price moves. Your phone becomes your trading desk. You check charts in the morning, during lunch, late at night. Every small movement feels like an opportunity. You follow traders on social media, people posting screenshots, huge profits, fast gains, easy setups. They make it look effortless. So you copy their trades. Sometimes it works. A lucky trade, a sudden spike. Your balance jumps again, and that feeling returns. The belief that you figured it out. But most of the time the market moves the other way. Your trade turns red. You hold it longer than you should, waiting for it to come back. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, you open another trade, trying to recover the loss. Then another. Then another. Now you're not trading the market anymore. You're chasing the loss. Your decisions stop being logical. They become emotional. Fear when the price drops. Greed when it rises. Frustration when the market moves without you. Some days you win. Some days you lose everything you made that week. Your balance swings up and down like the charts themselves. But the most dangerous part isn't the losses, it's the wins. Because when a gamble works, it convinces you that gambling is a strategy. You increase the position size. You risk more money, you trade faster. You start believing something dangerous, that the next trade will fix everything. But the market doesn't reward gamblers forever. Eventually, a single trade goes too far, too fast. The loss wipes out weeks of progress, maybe months, and suddenly you realize something most beginners discover the hard way. Trading isn't about luck, and the market doesn't forgive gamblers. Level 3, the student. Eventually the excitement fades, not because trading stops being interesting, because losing money gets tiring. The random trades, the emotional decisions, the nights staring at charts hoping they move your way. After enough losses, you start asking a different question. Not, how do I win the next trade, but what am I doing wrong? That question changes everything, because now you stop chasing signals. You start searching for knowledge. You open videos about technical analysis, long tutorials, slow explanations, charts filled with lines. You hear new terms, support, resistance, liquidity, trend, risk management. At first it feels overwhelming. Every strategy promises success. Every trader claims they know the secret. But slowly you begin understanding something important. The market isn't random. It moves because people move it. Fear pushes prices down, greed pushes prices up, and patterns appear again and again. You begin studying charts differently, not looking for fast profits, looking for structure. You start marking levels, watching how price reacts, noticing how certain zones repeat. You read books about trading psychology. You learn that the biggest enemy isn't the market, it's the trader. Impatience, fear, overconfidence. You begin tracking your trades, writing them down, what you did right, what you did wrong. Some nights you don't trade at all. You just study charts. Hours of quiet observation, watching the market move without touching it. This stage is slow, frustrating, sometimes boring. But something important begins forming. Discipline. You start realizing trading isn't gambling, it's probability. And probabilities only work when the trader follows the rules. Level 4, the demo trader. After months of learning, something becomes clear. Trading knowledge is easy. Applying it with real money is the hard part. Because when real money is involved, everything changes. The moment a trade goes red, your emotions return. Fear, doubt, the urge to close the trade too early or hold it too long. So you decide to remove the pressure. You open a demo account. No real money, just practice. At first it feels strange. The profits don't feel exciting. The losses don't hurt. But something important happens. You finally start following your rules. You wait for proper setups. You mark your levels. You plan the trade before entering it. Sometimes the trade wins. Sometimes it loses. But now the result matters less. Because the process matters more. You begin testing strategies. Different time frames. Different markets. Some ideas fail quickly. Others start showing consistency. You learn something powerful. One good strategy is enough, if the trader behind it stays disciplined. So you start collecting data. Trade after trade. Day after day. You review everything. Entry points, exit points, mistakes, improvements. Patterns appear, not just in the market, in yourself. You notice when you become impatient. You notice when you want to force trades. You notice when confidence turns into arrogance. The demo account becomes your training ground. A place to fail safely. A place to practice patience. Some nights you take 10 trades. Other nights you take none. You begin understanding something professional traders know well. Trading is mostly waiting, not action. Waiting for the right moment, the right price, the right setup. Weeks pass, your strategy improves, your confidence grows, but something still feels different, because deep down you know one truth. Demo trading prepares you for the market, but it never prepares you for the emotions that return when real money is back on the line. Level 5, the retail trader. Eventually, the demo account stops feeling enough. The strategies look solid. The charts make sense. Your journal shows improvement, but something is missing because demo trading never feels real. There is no pressure, no real consequence. So you decide to return to the market, this time with real money again. But something about your approach has changed. You don't rush into trades anymore. You don't follow random signals online. You wait. You watch the charts quietly. Sometimes for hours. Your trading screen looks different now. Clean charts, clear levels, a simple strategy, no chaos. When the setup appears, you take the trade. No excitement, no hesitation, just execution. Your position size is small, much smaller than before, because now you understand risk. One trade should never destroy your account. The trade moves slowly, up a little, down a little. Your emotions start whispering again. Close the trade early, take the profit now, but this time you follow the plan. The trade eventually hits the target. A small win. Not life-changing, but controlled. Another day, another trade. This one loses. But the loss is small. Exactly what your rules allowed. You write it in the journal. No anger, no revenge trading, just information. Weeks pass. Your balance grows slowly, not dramatically, just steady. Some weeks end positive. Some weeks end negative. But the account survives. And survival is the real goal. Because now you understand something beginners never realize. Retail trading isn't about making fast money. It's about staying in the game long enough to become better. Every trade teaches something. Every mistake shows weakness. Every disciplined decision builds experience. You still have losing days, sometimes frustrating ones. But the difference now is simple. You're no longer gambling. You're managing risk. And in trading, the trader who survives long enough is the trader who eventually improves. Level 6, the consistent trader. Something begins to change, not in the market, in you. The charts look the same. The candles move the same. But the way you react to them is different. You stop chasing every move. You stop feeling like you must trade every day. Some days you open the charts and simply close them again. No setup, no trade. And that feels perfectly fine, because now you understand something important. Good trades are rare, and forcing them destroys accounts. So you wait. Patiently, quietly, watching the market form structure. Levels you marked days ago start to matter again. Price returns to them. The setup appears. You take the trade. Calm, focused, almost mechanical. The result no longer feels dramatic. A win is expected, a loss is accepted, because both are part of the plan. You follow the same rules trade after trade, the same entry criteria, the same stop loss, the same risk percentage. Nothing changes. Weeks pass, then months. The results begin to stabilize. Your account grows slowly, not explosive, not viral social media profits, just steady, controlled, professional. You realize consistency doesn't come from winning more trades. It comes from losing correctly. Small losses, controlled damage, protection of capital. Your journal becomes your best tool. You review it constantly. Not searching for mistakes anymore, searching for refinement, small improvements, better timing, better patience. The biggest change happens in your mind. The market no longer feels like an opponent. It feels like an environment. Something you observe, not something you fight. You understand something that beginners never believe. Trading success is mostly boredom, routine, discipline, repetition. Because the consistent trader doesn't need excitement, he needs process. And the moment the process becomes automatic, you realize something powerful. You're no longer trying to beat the market. You're simply executing a system that works over time. Level 7. The professional. At some point, trading stops feeling like a game. It stops feeling like a challenge. It becomes routine. The charts open every day. The same screens, the same analysis. But the way you approach them has changed again. You no longer search for trades. You wait for them. Most days nothing happens. The market moves. But the setups you trust never appear. So you close the charts and move on with your day. This used to feel impossible. Before you needed action. You needed the excitement of being in a trade. Now you understand something most traders never learn. Not trading is also a decision, and sometimes the best one. When the setup finally appears, you already know what to do. The plan was written long before the trade existed. Entry, stop loss, target, risk, everything defined before the click. The execution takes seconds, but the patience behind it took years. You watch the trade the same way a pilot watches instruments, calm, focused, detached. Because emotions no longer belong in the process. A win is recorded, a loss is recorded, both treated exactly the same. Another line in the journal, another data point in the system. By now, your daily routine barely changes. Wake up, check the markets, analyze the charts, wait, execute if needed, review the results, repeat tomorrow. Trading becomes quieter, more private. You stop talking about it with friends. You stop explaining it to people who don't understand. Because from the outside, nothing looks exciting anymore. No dramatic moments, no wild profits, just discipline, patience, and a system that works. The professional trader doesn't chase the market, he prepares for it. And when the opportunity finally appears, he's already ready long before the trade begins. Level 8. The funded trader. At some point, your consistency becomes visible. Not to the market, but to other traders. Your journal shows discipline. Your risk management is stable. Your strategy produces results, slowly, quietly, but consistently. And that's when a new door appears. Funding, prop firms, investment capital, accounts larger than anything you've traded before. Suddenly the numbers change. The charts are the same, but the capital behind them is different. $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. Money that isn't yours. And that changes everything. Because when you trade your own account, you only answer to yourself. But when you trade funded capital, you answer to rules, strict ones, daily loss limits, maximum drawdown, risk parameters that cannot be broken. One mistake can end the account instantly. One emotional trade can erase months of discipline. The pressure feels different, not fear, responsibility. You review the rules every morning. Maximum loss per day, maximum risk per trade, maximum drawdown allowed. These numbers become boundaries, not restrictions. Protection. Because prop firms don't care about excitement. They care about survival. The trader who lasts is the trader who respects limits. So your trading becomes even quieter. Fewer trades, cleaner setups, more patience. Some days you don't trade at all. Not because you're afraid, because the opportunity isn't perfect. You start thinking like a risk manager, not a gambler, not even just a trader. A manager of capital. Every decision now carries weight. Because this account is not just a balance number. It's trust. Trust that you can handle size. Trust that you can control yourself. The profits grow larger now, but so do the consequences. A single mistake could close the account forever. So you slow down even more, reviewing trades carefully, tracking every decision, studying every mistake. The market hasn't changed, but your role inside it has. You're no longer just trading, you're managing capital. And the traders who survive this stage discover something important. The real skill in trading is not making money, it's protecting it. Level 9, the market veteran. Years pass, more trades, more charts, more data, but the biggest change is not in the market, it's in your experience. You've now seen things most traders never survive long enough to witness. Bull markets, bear markets, market crashes, sudden rallies, days where everything moves perfectly, and days where nothing makes sense. At the beginning of your journey, every move felt personal, every loss felt unfair, every win felt like proof you were right. But experience changes that perspective, because the longer you stay in the market, the more you understand something important. The market is bigger than any trader. No strategy controls it, no indicator predicts it perfectly, no trader masters it completely. Instead, you begin recognizing behavior, patterns not just in charts but in people. You see how fear spreads during crashes. You see how greed explodes during rallies. You see beginners rushing into trades exactly when professionals are exiting them. You've watched bubbles grow slowly, then burst in a single violent moment. You've seen entire markets collapse overnight. Crypto crashes, stock market corrections, unexpected news events, moments where billions disappear in hours. But something else changes too, your reaction. The volatility that once felt terrifying now feels familiar. You've seen it before, many times. Instead of panic, you observe. Instead of rushing, you wait. Because experience teaches patience. You don't need to predict every move. You only need to recognize opportunity when it appears. Your trading screen still looks the same. Charts, numbers, candles moving every second. But the way you see them is different now. You're not searching for excitement. You're searching for probability. Clean setups, clear structure, controlled risk. You've stopped trying to impress anyone. No screenshots, no social media bragging, no arguments about predictions. Just quiet work, analysis, execution, review, over and over again. The veteran trader doesn't try to outsmart the market. He respects it, because he's seen what happens to traders who forget that rule. And by this point in the journey, you realize something most beginners never believe. The longer you trade, the less dramatic trading becomes. And that's exactly what makes it sustainable. Level 10, the independent trader. Years pass, thousands of charts, thousands of trades, small wins, small losses, and slowly the account grows. Not in explosive moments, but quietly, month after month, year after year. At some point, something changes. Trading stops feeling like survival. It starts feeling like freedom. Your desk is still simple, a laptop, a clean chart, a quiet room, but the numbers on the screen are different now. The profits are larger, the account size is larger, and the lifestyle begins to change. You move to a better apartment, a better city, maybe even another country. Your mornings are quiet. No boss, no office, no schedule forced on you. Just the market opening and your charts waiting. Some traders buy luxury, nice cars, beautiful watches, expensive vacations, and yes, trading can make that possible. But something surprising happens along the way. The things you once thought were important stop being the goal. Because money was never the real reward. Control was. Control over your time, control over your decisions, control over your life. The market still moves every second. Millions of traders still chase profits. News breaks, prices spike, social media explodes with predictions, but your world feels slower, more controlled. You don't chase trades anymore. You wait. You don't gamble. You manage risk. You don't try to be right. You try to be consistent. From the outside, it doesn't look exciting. No dramatic moments, no loud success, just quiet discipline, day after day, year after year. Because the real secret of trading is something beginners rarely believe. The best traders are usually invisible. No flashy posts, no loud predictions. Just execution, routine, patience. The charts close for the night. The room becomes quiet. And somewhere a new trader opens their first account. They place their first trade. They see their first profit. They feel the same excitement you once felt. The same dream of easy money. The same belief that trading is simple. They're just beginning the journey you've already finished. And the market is waiting for them just like it waited for you.